We have one weekend, the kids in town. We can waste no time and head straight for the trains. We're gonna try and get Paris and London in about as many days. Our preferred way to get to Europe, France, Belgium, or otherwise, is by train, and that means the Eurostar. It was fairly late when we arrived, so we went right to bed. After all, we were going to try and see all of Paris the next day. Our hotel's in Montmartre, so that's where we started our day. Montmartre is an interesting part of Paris. It's variously described and accurately described as seedy, romantic, and as the Paris of your imagination. When you see Paris in a movie, unless it's the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre, pretty good odds it's Montmartre. And the best part? Well, there's a funicular. And we're certainly not going to ever pass one of those up. Montmartre is so named for a large hill that the funicular is carrying us up. The top of this hill is a fantastic view and the Sacred Heart Cathedral. There's other ways to get up the hill, but they're not worth mentioning. I guess the secret's out about Montmartre. There's plenty of other tourists here, that's for sure. But it's a nice place to walk around anyway. And from here, we started a long walk down the hill and across town, past some windmills, past the bar where Amelie was filmed and set, past a whole bunch of art, and ultimately making our way down towards the Louvre. En route, we worked up an appetite and so stopped for lunch. Always good. French onion soup in Paris. I mean, come on. There it is, the Louvre. We hired a tour guide and she brought us in the second entrance, which was a little bit less crowded. Oh man, the Louvre. You don't need to take my word for it. It is phenomenal. We started our tour at the bottom where you see the footings of the old castle or palace or something. Then we headed up and checked out Venus de Milo and her disarming beauty. And then the Nike of Samothrace, inspiring Nike shoes. And of course, the Louvre superstar, the Mona Lisa. The experience of viewing this painting just gets more ridiculous every time. And how about some killer early 19th century romantic paintings? Wreck of the Medusa, Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People. How about some Renaissance masterpieces? A couple of Michelangelo sculptures. So we had a guided tour and we were in and out of the Louvre in under 3 hours. Next stop, Eiffel Tower. Photogenic? Sure. Dinner time? Absolutely. After the fire, Notre Dame is just as beautiful as ever on the outside. Inside, these cartoons show you the restoration that's taken place. Day 2 in Paris is also day last in Paris. Breakfast, and then we are out of here, back to London. Espresso, bread, and a croissant. Pretty standard items, but it's almost impossible to describe just how good these things are, almost everywhere in Paris. The Paris metro is great, but sometimes the buses are cheaper, easier, and quicker. Back in London, we took the tube down near Tower Bridge to catch a ferry or a tour boat. Terrible Histories, where a couple of goofy actors tell gruesome stories about the Thames River as you cruise around and see some pretty sights. Flowers, perhaps a little past their prime outside the Tower of London, cap the evening. So we filmed this before the Queen's passing. We went to tour Buckingham Palace, which was amazing. No pictures, but you see the opulence and the fantastic furniture that they use to entertain fancy people. Here's the back of it.
Like a cochinita pibil tacos from DF. They're really pretty good.
It's good.
And the British Museum. An unbelievable concentration of treasures from around the world dragged in here. Here's the Rosetta Stone. What's in here? The Parthenon marbles. Some of the greatest sculptures in ancient Greece. Not in Athens, they're in London. And these guys here, they played a big role in that. How about some Persian stuff? We all know Phineas Fogg, the main character from Around the World in 80 Days. Well, the copyright on those books expired, and now there's a whole bunch of bars themed around Mr. Fogg himself. Here's one of them. This one is Mr. Fogg's Botanicals. We like going to them. They're fancy, they're ridiculous, and they're fun.
Here we go. That's good.
Finally, we capped off our trip with one of our favorite places in London, Seven Dials Market, and this cheese place specifically. Cheese on a little sushi train. It's just